Hello, everyone. Welcome to Luna's Corner. I'm Luna Jade, and I am very excited to be talking about this next subject. So, before I begin, in my very first video, I explained how this whole platform I'm using to show you guys what my path has been like and what has helped me out. So, I'm in no way trying to teach anybody anything. So, if you have a comment or anything that you would like to know or anything you would like me to change, please comment down below and I will be happy to oblige. So, today we will be talking about visualization, meditation, and manifestation. Today I'll be speaking on my experience, particularly with visualization and how I developed it. Also, meditation and how to quiet or calm a busy mind in order to be successful with visualization. I will also be talking about how I manifest things into this plane and how you can do it as well. Meditation to start. Okay, so let's begin with that. Meditation is known around the world and it's been used by hundreds of religions and it's been around for a long time. People say that it was brought from India thousands of years ago, or that it was discovered in India thousands of years ago. Other sources say that it was brought from China by a Japanese monk named Dosho, and he brought it back to Japan, and that's how this whole thing developed. The reality is, I haven't researched that far back, so I'm not really sure how old it is. The thing is that we know it exists. It's very ancient, very old, and people have been using it for thousands of years. So let's begin. Meditation is first and most important a picture in your mind that comes to life within your consciousness. Not everyone is able to develop this and from the jump, and if you can't at first, don't feel bad. It takes practice, and it very much requires a quiet mind, and my mind is by any means quiet. So it took me a while in practicing till I actually got there. But I'm gonna give you a list of things that I did that helped me quiet and calm my mind in order to get there. And let's start with pick your space well. Number one, pick your space well. Why do I say this? Because you don't want to be in a place where people are walking back and forth. They're going to be interrupting you, and they're going to be pulling your concentration from where you need it the most. Number two, clean your space. Once you find a nice quiet area to work with, make sure it's free of clutter and it smells good. Why do I say this? Because once your eyes are closed and you're trying to focus on something, your other senses are heightened. So you're going to smell weird things if they're around. And it is very important to understand that. Number three, cleanse your area. Wait, didn't I say that? Yes, I did. This is a different kind of cleanse. This is more spiritual in nature. How do I do this? Well, me personally, I like to cleanse my area with incense, palo santo, or sage that I grow in my backyard. Number four, visualize. If you're there yet, visualize bad, stagnant, heavy negative energy in the particular space. If you don't see it, it's fine. Maybe it's not even there. But visualize it. It's time to begin. First, make sure you can either use, it's all depending on where you live and what are the rules. If it's not your place, if it's an apartment complex or something like that you cannot possibly light anything, there's besoms, there's salt, there's feathers that you can use. There's a whole bunch of things that you can use differently so you don't have to burn sage. Or if sage gives you allergies or any kind of thing like that, then there's other options. So don't be deterred by that. Okay. First, let's make our mind clear. Easier said than done, huh? So, what I'm about to say is about to be a little bit weird or maybe even stupid for some of y'all, but how I do it is the most logical thing ever. And believe me, I had a little bit of trouble with this at first. I close my eyes, and obviously the back of your eyelids are dark, so you don't see anything. That is the first step because you can imagine yourself in a dark room. That's the first thing you're going to do. Imagine yourself in a dark room. Just sit there. Sit there in the cold with the cold air, the cool air, and surrounding with darkness surrounding you. Let me tell you this. Remember, darkness isn't evil. It's just the absence of light. So don't be afraid. Darkness is not a bad thing. Okay. So once you've sat in that darkness, had that cool air cover your body, if you felt and saw what I was describing, then congratulations, that's the beginning of meditation. It may not be intricate as you guys want it to be, but it's the first step. So that's what I did, and that's what was my first step to develop what I do now. All right. So, as you progress more, you will determine if you're ready to take the next step, as in being ready to see other things, being ready to be open to other things. I first start meditation with grounding. So this is a very set skill of visualization and is very important for you to have. I start out as a seed that seeps into its roots into the ground and the cracks of the ground. All the while, I'm stretching my branches up above to the sky, towards the sky. Facing a large cove in the middle of it's a deserted island. I imagine myself in a hill, on a hilltop, facing a beautiful cove with my branches all stretched out to the air and the breeze hitting my face. I know I'm grounded once I can smell that ocean breeze and feel that cool air and the sweet sun on my face. That is when I know I'm grounded. So, I give you this example because I'm from the Caribbean and that's where I feel most comfortable with. By all means, if you have another different perspective of what calmness means, you can do a lake, you can do a river, you can do even the top of a skyscraper if that calms you. So it's all what suits you and your taste and your idea of calm. Okay? I'm going to let you guys see something that I'm not very comfortable showing because I'm by any means an artist or a painter or none of the above. So please be nice. The next image that I'm about to show you guys is, well, it's an example of what I'm seeing once I'm in my grounded state. What I feel when I'm grounded. Everything I see. All right, so please be nice. Okay, I hope that wasn't too hard on the eyes. All right, next, guided meditation helps. If after all I've said, you still feel like you can't get there and you can't see anything or you can't concentrate, practice. That's all you got to do. Everything comes with practice. If still after practice you feel like you're just quite not there, then you might have aphantasia. Not diagnosing anybody with anything, just so you guys know. But look into it, definitely. You might need an official diagnosis and an evaluation for you to get there. But yeah, you might have aphantasia. Aphantasia is just a fancy word for, or the scientific term for, you're not able to make those or see anything while you envision it. You're not able to have that movie in your mind, have that picture in your mind. You're not able to concrete it. And that's okay. Because I've heard that, or I've read that people with aphantasia, first off, it's a relatively brand new term, and it hasn't been studied a lot quite yet. So what I have read is that people with aphantasia have other senses heightened because they can't see that. So just a thought, why don't you feel or smell your way through or hear your way through a meditation? Maybe that way? Who knows? But don't let this deter you from meditation. Keep trying. Keep trying. You will get there eventually, even if you hear something or feel something or smell something. All right? Okay. Let's go to the next one. This is how I prepare myself for meditation. Make sure you are physically cleansed. When I get ready for meditation, I go into the shower. I imagine myself with a gray or darkened aura or a dull aura. I get under the water, under the shower head, and let the water, which is life and purity, cleanse all that and drag all that dullness down and take it down the drain. Now that you've done that, you go back to your designated spot, the one we just talked about. Cleanse your area if you haven't already. Sit and remain still for 30 seconds. An ideal place for this would be outside. Once again, if you don't have that luxury, wherever you feel comfortable. I like to do it out in the open and out in the ground because I feel more connected to nature. If there's a possibility that you can make this happen, that would be amazing because it'll give you that strong connection, that strong bond. So now that you've done that, imagine that your body, once again, like I told you before, imagine that your body is a root and that it digs its way down to the ground. Now imagine as your roots seep into the ground while simultaneously growing up into the sky, your branches, leaves, whatever you want to give yourself. Imagine your arms growing and reaching out to the sky. Take a deep breath and maybe even feel the warmth of the sun on your face. After this, breathe. Sit there for a couple seconds. Take a deep breath. And congratulations, you have grounded yourself officially. All right. So, if you need a little oomph, a little boost that might help things out some, try herbs that can help in a tea or burning them. Crystals can help as well. So here's a list of things that I use that have helped me out significantly. And you can use them yourself. If you're, mind allergies and all that. If you're allergic, obviously don't ingest this. So lemon balm, which is associated with the solar plexus chakra, it's a great calmer, and you can infuse it with tea. Chamomile. Everybody knows that chamomile is, well, it's a great relaxer. So chamomile is associated with the throat chakra, if I'm not mistaken. If a lot of you have a sleepy effect with chamomile, I suggest you don't take this one because you don't want to fall asleep in your meditation. Nettle it has a different effect. Nettle takes that stress away from your body, so your body's able to relax them. It's able to like settle. It's also associated with the solar plexus chakra, and it helps you calm, but in a different way. Holy basil. This is also known to reduce aging, so by calming yourself. So in other words, it does calm your body, so your mind is willing to be more open. So you can also steep this is as like in a tea form, or maybe even smoke it. I've read of that as well. I'm not telling you to smoke this. If it's completely and entirely up to you to do the research. I've heard of people that have. I personally have not, but I do use them as a tea, and they help out greatly. Crystals and stones for meditation. Absolutely love this. Tiger's eye. I use tiger's eye for grounding, for before I actually settle into the whole meditation thing. Amethyst. Amethyst is it's a protection stone as well, but it is also used in aiding with calmness. Rose quartz. Rose quartz, it's also known for its calming abilities, and it's very used for self-love spells and things like that, of that nature. Black obsidian is very important as well. It's a protection stone, and it's a great stone against negativity, so you can use that as well. Last but not least, and extremely important, is clear quartz. Clear quartz is the very first stone that a lot of us get in this whole process. Before we even know anything about stones, the freaking first one that we very much gravitate to is clear quartz. Clear quartz is also known as the master healer, and clear quartz is actually adaptable, and it can be used for multiple things. But its main purpose is to enhance or magnify the other stones that I mentioned by vibrations or any other stone. And it can be replaced with those. Or replace those. So, here are some of the stones that I mentioned in that particular order. Alright, now that you guys have seen what the stones look like, now you're able to find them for yourself and group them together and incorporate them in your meditation. Okay? So, next, visualization. After cleansing and after meditation, you'll find it easier to visualize an object. We first start out with something small like a ball or a cup or even a pencil. Give it whatever color you want, and just make sure that it's something that you've seen before and that is easy for you to see. Okay? First do it with your eyes closed. Then little by little, do it with your eyes open. And envision the object with your eyes open right in front of you. Visualization, by the way, isn't a way of meditation. It just helps your spell casting, which it comes in you'll see yourself using it a lot with spells, Why do I say this? Because when I do spells, I envision the outcome before it actually happens. That way I send that vibration, that energy into the universe, and for that to come right back at me. Okay? All right, we'll start out with visual exercises. So if you had trouble visualizing, little by little, daily, you can do this exercise, and with your eyes closed and then with your eyes open once you're able to see it with your eyes closed. And practice until you get the desired outcome. Like I said, start out small because obviously you're not going to be able to see this amazing, intricate thing with your eyes open at the first start. If you do, hey, power to you. But I did not, and I really hope that it's easier for you guys, okay? All right. So like meditation and clearing your mind and calming and relaxing yourself had herbs and crystals, this visualization does as well. So I'm going to name a few that have helped me out and their properties, so it might help you in the future with your visualization. Number one is azurite. Azurite is a great stone for insight. It's great for communication, and it's also really good for wisdom. Turquoise. Turquoise is a great stone to have because it gives you mental clarity. It opens your mind. Aquamarine, the same. It's great for mental clarity. It's also good for creativity. Number 4, jasper. It's a great balancing stone, and believe me, you will need it. Moonstone. It helps with your intuition and your dreams. So basically, it helps you visualize. That's the best one yet. So I definitely recommend the moonstone. Herbs for visualization. So this is most likely up to you. You can do things with herbs that aid you in your visualization, the most that help you. Look it up, do the research, read books, and you will find them. But for me, this was the following. I'm going to start with dragon's blood. I'm going to stop all of you guys that before you even get there. Dragon's blood is great for manifestation, but I've heard that the overcultivation of this herb, of this powerful herb, is affecting the cultivation of it. So you're going to see less and less of it if we don't stop overcultivating it. Sandalwood. Sandalwood incense is great for purifying your space and for broadening your mind, opening your third eye. And it's easier for you to concentrate, so it's easier for you to visualize. Frankincense. Frankincense, it helps relieve anxiety, which is by that relaxes you, and in order for you to visualize and see things a little clearer. So now for this very, very exciting part, which is manifestation. Manifestation is brought up a lot, and I see it a lot on Facebook and a lot of on TikTok and stuff like that. But what is manifestation? Manifestation is just the action of purely using your mind to create something and attract something that you really want. It is one of the most, if not the most powerful thing that you will need in spell work. So like all the above that I mentioned, this takes practice and a lot of trial and error. So it's not gonna, you will not see results overnight. So it's not gonna, you won't be instant millionaire. So that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry to burst you guys' bubble, but unfortunately, no, because then we would all be rich. Okay, how do you manifest? Well, like I stated in the previous videos, there aren't two pagans that are alike. So we all have different paths, and I would expect the practice to be the same. So what works for me may not work for you. Now I practice mostly with visualization. Like I said before, I gather and prepare my supplies by consecrating them. This subject we're going to get more into in the next couple videos because it's something a little bit more intricate, and you definitely need to see this video before getting there, if that helps you. So I will definitely be mentioning this in the future. Okay? All right. So how to do it. Visualize and see the outcome. Like I told you before, visualize and see the outcome of the spell as if it already has happened. As if it already has come to fruition and you are seeing it right before you. You are feeling it. You're feeling how happy you are, how complete you are, how challenged you are in this particular situation. As if it already happened to you. Then the most rewarding thing of manifesting is actually seeing something unfold in your very eyes, something that you attracted, something that you sent out into the universe and brought back with you. So that's always a great thing. How will I know if it worked? Listen, how will I know if it worked it might be a stupid question for some, but it's not as stupid as you think. A lot of people want to, like I mentioned before, want that instant gratification, want to be a billionaire overnight, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Spells take time, research, and a lot more than one try to get it. It will very well may depend on the complexity of your spell. So you want to start out small. You want to start out a simple spell. Don't do a big old spell. Just you can start out with self-love or calmness or something small like that. Something not intricate. All right? So some spells take a lot more than manifestation. Some spells take a lot more than visualization. Some spells you're going to need to write down. Sometimes you need to use the elements. Sometimes you need to incorporate herbs or crystals. Sometimes you have to be a little bit more creative than just visualization. Visualization is a great boost in order for that to happen, and it's a very important step for that to happen. But we must also remember that we're dealing with the elements. We're dealing with the connection with our being to Earth and the universe. So we want to keep that in mind. We want to incorporate every element possible in order to send that and have that come to fruition. For example, every spell almost has different days. I'm going to say almost because not all of them are, but a lot of spells, there's a spell for each day of the week. I'll elaborate. For example, you want to do a spell for abundance, all right, or luck and success. It can be done on a certain day of the week, which is a Thursday, usually. Or if you want a spell to incorporate, I don't know, any phase of the moon, all that has to be taken under consideration because you're working once again with the elements. Okay. If you want a chance to be more successful, incorporate candles, crystals, herbs, everything that I mentioned, even planetary alignment. That's a lot more complicated, and I'm still working on that myself. So I can't go into that right now with you unless I have lived it, unless I have actually been there. I'm currently now working with it, and I have not the full experience. So as soon as I do, I will definitely talk about it here. Okay. Moon phases, like I just mentioned, moon phases are very important for each transition, each part of every spell. So something that is very, very helpful as well is knowing your moon phases, and each phase has a different way of magic, if that makes any sense. Like the full moon, we let go of things. We release things that no longer serve us. The new moon is to start new adventures, to bring new things into our life, things like that. So you need to know your moon phases before you start working with these. All right. Herbs and crystals to help with manifestations. So here is a little, it gets a little bit complicated. There are many herbs and many crystals that help with different things. So I can't give you a concrete list because I will stay here all night, basically. You need to know your basic crystals. You need to know your basic herbs. If you want to incorporate them, to a certain type of magic and a certain type of spell. So, like I said, there are a variety. There's so many herbs that you can actually use, and it all boils down to your intention. Although I'd like to answer this simple question, unfortunately, it's not that simple, and you'd have to do your research on this. I can, however, tell you what books I read for this. So I have Scott Cunningham, Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, and Magical Herbalism, both by Scott Cunningham. And so this is the first book that I mentioned. I don't know if this flips or if it's backwards. I'll figure it out. But this is the very first book that I mentioned. It's Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Herbs. This will definitely show you more or less, if you see that there, how they look. It shows the gender. Yes, it has a gender. The gender it deals with, the planet it belongs to, the element it belongs to, the deities they belong to, the folk names, and each magical use. So that is the very importance of reading these books. The second book is Magical Herbalism. So this one right here, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of tabs because, very interesting enough, there's things here that are very, very interesting to read. For example, this right here says planetary hours of the night, and it tells you what planets at what time to deal with them. So it's very useful, and it's an intense read. So I gobbled this up in like a day. Absolutely loved it. This is a must read. All right. Crystals for manifestation. We all need these. Crystals for manifestation. Herbs, crystals are very versatile. And there's a plethora of crystals out there that you can match with your intention. Like I said before, depending on the intention that you have to match with the crystal. And make sure that the crystal works with the herb as well. What I can say is that there are certain items that can substitute others. For example, you want to make a love spell, but you don't have rose quartz, or maybe the only thing you have at the time is clear quartz. So definitely use it. like I said before, it's a master healer, and it takes the form of either stone that you want to give it, like to want to use it to. You can connect the clear quartz to any stone. Let's just say you need a particular herb. Let's just say you want to do a love spell or a protection spell. Use rosemary. Rosemary is a perfect substitution for a lot of herbs. So keep that in mind. All right. Guys, thank you so much, so much for watching this video with me. Please give a like. Please comment below if you missed something, if you like something, another subject to talk about. Please subscribe. Hit the bell icon anywhere around here. I still don't know where it's at. And so you can get all my notifications for future videos, okay? Blessed be, guys. Bye.